Hello everyone and welcome back to Pure Joy Papercrafts. I've got another project share for you here today. No big shocker, it's another winter album. I'm trying to get in as much as I can here in January. So let's go ahead and get started and I will show you this cute little album that I made. Alright, so today this album is a mock of kind of the 5x7 interactive album that I did. Trying to use up winter paper, get as many done as I can before we start our Valentine's Day projects. And all of the pink makes its debut, which I'm getting kind of tired of blue, so it may be happening sooner than I would like, but we're going to roll with it. So for this project, I was using this Echo Park 6x6 Winter Magic paper pad. I'm down to some pretty hefty scraps still, and I'm trying to get those used up between tags, bookmarks. I think some cards are going to have to be made in order to get this used up. My goal for January was to kill this paper pad, and I'm just not having a ton of luck getting this thing gone, but we're going to try. So I used this paper pad, and then I used blue paper that I had in my stash and some other things. But for the most part, it was a new paper pad compared to the last one that I did. So let's actually take a look at this album. So this is, again, just like that interactive mini album I did before, except this one was made from the chipboard from the 5x7. So I had 12x12 pieces of chipboard. This front is a 5x5, and then this is a super thick, chunky spine. And I think the next one that I make, I'm actually going to trim this scrap down just because this ended up being a little too big for this like chunky album. If you look at the inside, I've got some pretty big gaps still in here, which I don't love, but it is what it is, and we made it work. So on the front, I've got some of that Winter Magic paper, double matted like normal. This was a cut apart actually out of that 6x6 paper pad that says every snowflake sparkles in its own way. And how can you put a cut apart that talks about sparkling without sparkles? You can't. So I put some of these snowflake die cuts on it again with some of those scallop circles to help break that up because it was a lot of white. Put some stickles, which this was my very first time using stickles, which I picked these up from Hobby Lobby, and they took a really long time to dry, but I'm really happy with how they turned out because it added some sparkle to the front of this. And then there are some little white sparkly enamel dots, which I had gotten extra out of a Peachy Cheap order that I had put in for some Christmas stuff. So that's our front cover. I put the exact same paper on the back because I just loved it, and hopefully by now we've seen I am not too picky about my backs being different from my fronts. I actually like them to match, but that's just me. So back and front are the same, and then this was a scrap of snowflake paper that I just threw on that spine there and got that all put together. This ribbon is probably familiar. I believe this is the same ribbon I used on that 5x7. This actually is a Michaels pickup from several years ago, but blue snowflakes, blue album, make it work. So let's open this thing up and take a peek at what we got going on in here. So on the front cover, put a pocket, gusseted, put some cut aparts in here. So I made this tag with scraps, cut aparts from that collection, some twine on there, and it does have print on the back. I figured I would just leave it. If you want to mount something on there, you can go for it. I made this other cut apart from, or this other tag from Scrappies. So I took my We Are Memory Keepers punch and did the scallop edges and then my rounded one and rounded those, and those turned out super cute for a tag, double-sided. You never know that that came from a scrap. Now we've got a flap here. This is magnetized, so this opens. This is a little bit smaller than like a 4x6, so if you wanted to put a photo on here, you'd probably have to trim them down. But it's magnetized to open up. Got this one here and here, little flap, and then this here, I left this one blank, and I'm sure we'll find somewhere that I forgot something, because I try to like cut all my paper and mount it, and I need to just learn by this point that I have to go signature by signature. Otherwise, I'm making messes. Because look, this is actually supposed to be a pocket page, and I completely forgot to stick a pocket in there. And you know what? We're just going to roll with it. I will fix that. But we're just going to keep going and pretend like I didn't even say that. So that was the front of that first signature. Second signature. This one opens this way. Spots for some mounts. Magnetized. This here is not magnetized. It's a little library pocket, and I believe this does say 3x3 on the back of it, because I'm going to add a pocket over here. Because I was thinking like a library pocket, but then I cut stuff down and it just wasn't quite the right size I liked. So I am going to add some sort of little pocket in here so you can mount a photo in here, and then also have a little pocket to maybe put some ephemera or memorabilia, a ticket stub maybe from something that matches the photo. But I am going to go back and put a pocket in there. See, I knew there was a reason I hadn't filmed this video yet, and it was because I wasn't done with this project. Shocker. Back of our second signature, this pops down. So mount a photo, little snowman, you can mount a photo. That one is magnetized, so it does keep itself up there. On this one, I've got double gusseted pockets, so you can fit lots in here. So little reindeer on the back of a Scrappy, turn it into a tag. Then I've got two more of those little scrap tags where I use my scallop punch and then my corner rounder on those little scrappy tags. So those fit in there, maybe, yeah, there we go. So doubles on there, and then all three of these are pocket pages, which I should, and I will go in and put the inserts in these, and they will just have white photo mounts on the back. But there's that one, and then here's our last one, where I ended up paper piecing a bunch of these like 3x3 sections just because they didn't quite fit my scraps, and I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. So here's a little 3x3 that folds out. It's magnetized. Again, paper pieced over here on our side. And then this flips up and down. So all of that opens up. And you can mount photos in there. So that all folds together really nicely. And magnetize, keep it closed. And then on the back, you've got a pocket with two more little scrappy tags. So got all of that in there. So that's the little album that I made. Everything in this collection, or in this album, is from that Winter Magic collection by Echo Park. All of the mounting is paper that I had in my stash. Even this mounting for our binding is from there, and all of my cardstock is always just from Michael's, because that's how I built up my stash. So that is that little album that I made that is ironically not complete. We should not be surprised, and I need to learn to sit down and complete a signature at a time and stop trying to jump around. So there's the little mini album that I created 5x5, and I hope you enjoyed this incomplete project share. And I will link everything that I can think of in the description. If I missed something, let me know. Again, we're at the end of a video, so we'll say the same thing that everybody says, to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. And I appreciate you watching my project share and bearing with me as we got through it. I will see you in the next video.